was the impetus for getting onto the main court today?
We're never on it. Yeah, we're never on it. I think, my guys have been able to shoot on game days, when the court's been down. But I think any days that our main court is down, getting out here, getting used to the lighting, getting used to the rims, just getting a little bit more comfortable after all this is our home court. So, yeah, that was the biggest reason. And knowing today we're going to blow it out and get up and down in scrimmage just felt makes sense. The scrimmage where we're going to play our games.
What were some of the biggest takeaways from the scrimmage today?
Guys competed. Yeah, it was. We mixed up a lot of the lineups. The lineups groupings that we'll see throughout the course of a game, and that's always fun to watch. Who's playing well together? We need some more reps. What can we clean up? I think the referees have the hardest job in the world. I don't care what kind of referee you are. I mean, the guys that get paid $15 to come in and do this, it's so not worth it. I give those guys a lot of credit. I mean, gee whiz. But no, today was really good. We can definitely clean some things up. Tomorrow we'll scale back, kind of control things more, working on some special situations and some things defensively. But it was definitely a positive step in the right direction towards Thursday night.
When Peyton's playing catch-up and he's in a unit that's going to have a couple of newcomers, what do you kind of want him focusing on in reps like this to gain a chemistry with those guys?
Well, one, get in shape. Obviously he was out for so long, and he did everything he could in that time to stay in shape, but you can't replicate playing. And so I think, obviously this was a great opportunity for him to get up and down, push himself to get in that game type of shape. And getting used to playing with Russell Westbrook, getting used to playing with a guy like Dario Saric, Jamal, Julian, whoever else may be out there with him. But regardless of who he's playing with, he has to have the same mindset. I'm going to go out there and first and foremost be a guy that's going to really impose his will on the defensive end of the floor. Whether I'm guarding a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, I have to bring energy on that end of the floor. Offensively, obviously, play with an attack mindset, get to the basket, finish, and if he doesn't have that, look to make plays for other people. But it was just good having him back on the court playing and getting up and down because he wasn't able to do so for the, pretty much the entire preseason.
Russ was pretty vocal in the part of the scrimmage we got to see. Has that been an all-day, everyday kind of thing?
Yes.
Has it ever become too much?
I don't think so. I don't think you can have enough communication. You can't have enough agitation. I like that kind of stuff, man. Get guys going after each other because if we just come in here every day, buddy, you're only going to get so much better. But when you're talking shit and getting under people's skin, and that becomes contagious. He was so excited today when other guys started getting into it, and he was like, man, I'm getting there. I'm accomplishing my goal of being an irritant, and I love the fact that he brings that every single day. Like the little snapshot you guys saw, that's him every day, man. It's not phony. It's real. He gets after it. He's hard on himself, and he pushes his teammates, and I love it.
Who's the last guy you guys had that was kind of like that agitator, I guess?
I think IT. I think he was a guy that was same thing. Was always talking. Little guy, but a big chip on his shoulder. Hell of a player. Will Barton, a little bit. But there's not many guys like that. There's not. It's just there's not a normal trait. And I think for our group, and we have such a great group, special group, a group that's won a lot, but having a guy that's going to kind of stir the pot and bring an edge every day. For me, I love that shit. I really do. It's great.
Have you seen that edge rub off on the rest of the team just quite yet? Or
a little bit, yeah. That's why he was excited today, because he saw, some other guys kind of, getting into it and talking and being, not just quiet as a church mouse. I'm going to be out here, man. If I'm out here, you're going to hear me, you're going to feel me. And, it's, again, right now, I think it's a great thing. If it ever gets out of control, which I don't think it will, then we can handle that internally. But, competition's healthy. I mean, let's not shy away from competition. We got guys pushing each other. We have 9, 10 guys that are vying for minutes. And, I think when guys are going after each other in the right way, which we are, that's not only going to help him get better, it's going to help you get better. And so I love that part of the competitive spirit that we have.
We saw a little bit of Nicola working with the reserves today. I'm curious what you thought of that, and if that's something you want to do a little bit more this year, or something you want to experiment with.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Nicola's got to be able to play with, a lot of guys. We always laugh when everybody says, well, this guy plays better with Nicola. Well, of course he does. But unfortunately, not everybody can play with Nicola because Nicola can't play 48 minutes, at least not to start the season. So getting him out there with Jamal, Christian or Julian, and Michael and Aaron is great. Getting him out there with Dario and Vlatko and Hunter and Zeke and other guys as well, because obviously when he's out there, he's just a great guy to play through and play off of. And what you love most about Nicola is his ability to make all those guys better.
How difficult is it to stagger a starter and play 10 at the same time?
Very hard. Obviously, as you guys know, for years we've usually gotten Jamal and or Nicola out to have one of them in the game at all times. And I'm not saying we're going to do that again this year or not, but in the past, when you take one of your starters out to get them back in, now it makes it really hard to play 5 guys off the bench if you're bringing that one guy back. But we'll see what's best to start this season and how we're playing and what we need, and obviously we'll determine all those rotations based upon that. But it makes it difficult when you're trying to get one of those guys out to play a full 10-man rotation and give each of those 10 players a real chance to play. A guy can go in for 2 minutes and he's out. That's hard to do in this business, but I know that if I asked some guys to do that, they'd be more than ready and able to do that.
Do you want to treat the first few games as a chance to experiment more with that, or do you kind of go into it with a decent idea of what it's going to be, and it might just be 1 or 2?
Yeah, I mean, right now, after 5 preseason games and a number of training camp practices, I have a pretty good idea of how we're going to go about it early in the season, and obviously, we'll see how those results are going, positively or negatively, and make whatever changes we need to make. And again, with Jamal, I put myself in his shoes at times. Playing the first 6 coming out, playing the next 3 to close the quarter, start the first 3 in the second coming out and closing, that's a little bit choppy. And obviously Nicola usually plays the first 9, sits, and comes back and runs the last 9 of the second. So I also want to do what's going to allow our players individually and collectively to have their best chance of having success. So we'll see how it goes early in the season and make any necessary adjustments. All right. Thanks everybody.